Welcome, dear listener. Come closer, won't you? Let the symphony of the night rain outside lull you. A soft, steady melody against your window pane. Feel the gentle, radiating warmth from a flickering hearth, casting dancing shadows upon your walls. Imagine yourself nestled, safe and sound, wrapped in the softest blanket, perhaps a cup of something warm held in your hands. As the room grows dim around you, here, in this comforting embrace of shadow and sound, the world outside begins to fade. We find ourselves drifting, not quite awake, not quite asleep, in those precious, in-between spaces where reality itself blurs at the edges. Have you ever wondered what solace can be found in the quiet hum of the unknown, or what forgotten truths might whisper from the veils of mystery tonight? Perhaps we shall find out. Relax. Let the rain guide you. The rain, a ceaseless symphony of night, now beckons you further, beyond the familiar, into paths unseen. Imagine yourself, then, as a wanderer, lost beneath this very same bruised velvet sky, the relentless downpour a chilling companion as you traverse a landscape that seems to unravel with each passing moment. The path beneath your feet, once firm, now feels soft and yielding. The trees around you, ancient sentinels, writhe in the wind, their gnarled branches reaching like skeletal fingers. There is no moon, no star, only the inky blackness punctuated by the silver streaks of falling water, and the mournful groan of the wind as it sweeps across the desolate plains, chilling you to the bone. Your senses, heightened by isolation and the biting chill, search for any sign of shelter, any beacon in this encroaching gloom. The air is heavy with the scent of wet earth, decaying leaves, and something else, something ancient and metallic, carried on the damp breath of the wind. A shiver, not entirely from the cold, traces a path down your spine, a faint tremor that whispers of an unseen presence. Just as despair threatens to settle, a silhouette, grand and imposing, begins to emerge from the swirling mist ahead, as if conjured from the very fabric of the storm. It is a manor, or perhaps a castle, not merely old, but profoundly forgotten, as if time itself had grown weary of its existence and simply left it to crumble in majestic solitude. Its architecture is a haunting tapestry of spires that seem to pierce the low-hanging clouds, and walls of dark, weathered stone, cloaked in a thick, creeping mantle of ivy that writhes like dark veins across its surface. Every line, every shadow, whispers of a grandeur long past, of secrets buried deep within its foundations. Yet, despite its desolate appearance, there is an undeniable, magnetic draw emanating from its core, a low, resonant hum that seems to vibrate just beneath the threshold of your hearing, pulling you closer. A tall, wrought iron gate stands before this forgotten edifice, an ornate lacework of rusted metal, depicting twisted vines and gargoyles frozen in silent screams. Strangely, it is not secured. One half leans slightly inward, a heavy, resonant sigh of tortured metal escaping as a stronger gust of wind catches it, sending a low, mournful krr-ak-kum echoing into the rain-drenched night. It stands ajar, an invitation, or perhaps a challenge, to step beyond the threshold of the known, into a world where the veil between what is and what only might be feels dangerously thin. A natural hesitation ripples through you. Every instinct honed by logic and caution screams to retreat, to seek shelter under the canopy of some sturdy tree, to endure the storm rather than tempt the mysteries held within those shadowed walls. This place feels less like a refuge and more like a destination chosen by fate or something far older. The air here seems to hum with an almost palpable energy, a silent frequency that vibrates deep within your bones, subtly altering the very rhythm of your heartbeat, mixing curiosity with a quiet apprehension. But there is a peculiar sense, isn't there, that sometimes the most unsettling paths are precisely the ones we are meant to walk the rain. Falling heavier now, drums against the ground, against the ancient stones of the mansion, and against the very fabric of your resolve. It whispers of an answer to a question you didn't even know you were asking, promising a peculiar kind of solace within its strange embrace. An unseen current, subtle yet undeniable, begins to pull you forward. It isn't a violent tug, but a gentle, insistent lure, a quiet promise of understanding amidst the chaos. The wind, now a persistent, reedy whine, seems to guide your weary steps towards the gaping maw of the entrance. With each step closer to that half-open gate, the external world seems to recede further. The boundaries of the storm-lashed landscape begin to soften, and the only reality that matters is the looming presence of the mansion. As you pass through the gate, its heavy, rusted hinges protest with another drawn-out, grating krr-e-ark, a sound that seems to seal your entry, not with a lock, but with an echo that reverberates through the very fibers of your being. It feels less like entering a building and more like stepping into a dream, or perhaps a memory that isn't entirely your own. The ancient trees, their leaves dripping with rain, sigh deeply as you pass, their whispers mingling with the relentless downpour, creating a symphony of solitude. The driveway, once paved, is now overgrown with moss and forgotten weeds, leading towards a massive carved wooden door, equally ancient and weather-beaten, adorned with a grotesque knocker shaped like a contorted face. Yet this door, too, stands slightly ajar, a sliver of darkness within darkness, offering no hint of the warmth or light one might expect from a welcoming home. Only the faint, almost imperceptible scent of damp stone and something vaguely metallic and sweet, like old blood mixed with forgotten incense, lingers in the air. The silence that greets you within the immediate shadow of the mansion's facade is not absolute, but a heavy, breathing quiet, punctuated only by the distant, muted roar of the wind weaving through invisible crevices and the soft, incessant patter of the rain, now seeming to fall with a deeper, more resonant echo within these ancient walls. It is a silence that feels expectant, pregnant with unseen histories, inviting you to become a part of its unfolding narrative. This quiet invitation is not without its apprehension, but it is also tinged with a profound, almost spiritual curiosity. For in these moments, on the precipice of the unknown, one often finds the truest reflection of their own resilience, and perhaps a deeper understanding of the strange comfort that can only be found in the heart of profound mystery. You find yourself drawn further into this embrace, allowing the eerie solitude to settle around you, feeling less afraid and more intrigued. You step across the threshold, and the vast, cavernous interior of the mansion swallows you whole, not with a sudden clang of a closing door, but with a palpable shift in the very air itself. The muted roar of the external storm diminishes, receding into a distant, continuous hum, that now seems to emanate from the very stone and wood around you. No longer a threat, but a foundational rhythm. The initial darkness within is absolute, save for the faintest, almost imperceptible grey light that filters down from an unseen height, casting long, wavering shadows that dance with your every breath. Your first few steps echo, not as simple reverberations, but as complex, layered sounds. Your own soft tread, usually a contained assertion, now splinters into a dozen phantom copies, chasing each other down the immense space, fading into an unseen distance before their source has even fully ceased. It's as if the very architecture breathes, absorbing and then distorting every sound, turning the intimate act of walking into a shared experience with unseen presences. This is a space where sound does not merely reflect, but reinterprets, creating a chorus of silent footsteps that are both your own and utterly alien. Ahead, a grand, central hall opens, stretching into an indefinite distance. It is not straight, but subtly curves, bending away from your direct gaze, suggesting a path that holds no clear end. The walls, once likely adorned with tapestries or paintings, are now a canvas of peeling wallpaper, its delicate floral patterns obscured by age and damp, blooming instead with intricate, moss-like veins of moisture. With each step you take, the subtle details of the architecture seem to shift, to subtly alter. A column that appeared fluted from one angle now seems to twist gently, its surface smoothed and worn in a way that suggests not only age, but an unseen, internal motion. A shadowed alcove, briefly glimpsed, might vanish and reappear further down the corridor. Or perhaps it was never there at all, a mere trick of the encroaching gloom and your own weary perception. The air here is cool, carrying the scent of damp stone, ancient dust, and a faint, sweet, metallic undertone that hints at forgotten stories, perhaps even forgotten inhabitants. It's a clean chill, not biting, but refreshing in its solemnity, inviting you to breathe deeply, to let the silence and the strange, echoing vastness fill your lungs. The wind, once a direct assault, is now a distant, reedy sigh, weaving through invisible crevices and keyholes, whistling a mournful, undulating tune that rises and falls with an almost musical precision. You can almost hear it tracing patterns along the forgotten cornices, stirring the dust in some unseen, far-off chamber. As you venture further, the sense of being lost begins to settle, not as a panic, but as a quiet, almost welcome surrender. The corridors seem to braid and intertwine, sometimes narrowing into intimate passages, then abruptly widening into grand, vaulted expanses. No two sections feel quite the same, yet each carries the unmistakable signature of the mansion's unique, melancholic beauty. The floor beneath your feet transitions from cold, unforgiving flagstones to sections of worn, creaking parquet, then to silent, dust-laden carpet, each change announced by a subtle shift in the acoustics of your own footsteps, drawing your attention to the texture of your journey. The echoes become more intricate, more personal. Beyond the phantom footsteps, you begin to perceive other, fainter reverberations, a delicate, almost crystalline tinkling, like distant wind chimes made of glass, or the soft, percussive drip, drip, drip of water falling into an unseen puddle, multiplied 100-fold by the surrounding space. These sounds are not alarming, but rather, they become part of the mansion's inherent melody, a complex harmony of absence and quiet presence. They invite you to listen closer, to discern the nuances within the vast stillness, to become attuned to the subtle language of the forgotten. This disorienting journey through the endless halls, though it blurs the lines of your direction, offers a peculiar freedom. In losing your bearings, you find that the familiar anchors of daily life begin to recede. The need to know where you are, where you're going, becomes less urgent. Instead, you are invited to simply exist within the experience, to let the labyrinthine pathways guide you, rather than attempting to conquer them. Each turn, each subtle shift in perspective, becomes an opportunity to shed another layer of expectation, another fragment of the external world you left behind. The walls themselves seem to lean in, then pull back, as if breathing with an ancient, slow rhythm. Shadows stretch and contract, playing tricks on your peripheral vision, making architectural details seem to morph and flow. Is that a faded portrait, glimpsed just out of focus, or merely a stain on the damp plaster? The question hangs in the air, unanswered and unimportant. What matters is the quiet acceptance of the ambiguity, the willingness to embrace the uncertain. The profound sense of liminality here is not designed to frighten, but to soothe. It creates a space between waking and dreaming, between certainty and wonder, between what is real and what is only felt. In this gentle unraveling of the concrete world, your mind is freed from the rigid demands of logic and linearity. It can expand, stretch, and float, unburdened by the need for clear answers or defined boundaries. The echoing vastness, the shifting walls, the endless path, all become metaphors for the expansive, complex landscape of your own inner world. A landscape you are now invited to explore without the constraints of external reality. You continue to walk, your steps steady and unhurried, the constant, melodic backdrop of the distant rain and the mansion's own internal symphony gently guiding you. You are not lost, for there is no specific destination, only the journey itself, a continuous, unfolding exploration. And as the corridors continue to stretch and wind, each echo becoming a familiar companion, you find that a profound calm begins to settle within you, a quiet acceptance of this strange, beautiful, and endlessly captivating disorientation. The walls of the mind, like the walls of this mansion, begin to soften, allowing your deepest thoughts and feelings to emerge, to echo and intertwine in the gentle, hypnotic embrace of the unknown. And as you allow yourself to drift without aim or urgency, a subtle glimmer catches your eye, a faint, reflective sheen from an opening just ahead, drawing you not with urgency, but with the quiet pull of an unexpected discovery. You step through, and the air here is different again, cooler, crisper, carrying a delicate, almost metallic tang, like old silver. Here, the omnipresent thrum of the mansion and the distant, rhythmic rain seem to soften, creating a more intimate, hushed kind of quiet, a silence punctuated by the very light itself. This chamber is unlike any you have encountered yet, a vast, echoing space dedicated entirely to reflections. Hundreds of mirrors adorn the walls, stand on delicate, antique pedestals, or lean precariously against forgotten furniture. They are of every conceivable shape and size, grand, floor-to-ceiling panels framed in tarnished gold, ornate oval mirrors with chipped edges, small, handheld looking glasses nestled in velvet cases, even fragments of polished glass embedded directly into the plasterwork, like eyes peering from the stone. Dust motes dance in the thin slivers of grey light that penetrate from unseen high windows, creating fleeting, shimmering constellations that are caught and endlessly multiplied in the reflective surfaces. The room feels simultaneously empty and overwhelmingly full, teeming with phantom images of itself. You approach the nearest mirror, a tall, slender one with a silvered frame, its surface dulled by age. For a moment, your reflection stares back at you, a familiar silhouette framed by the unfamiliar cavernous room. It is you, undeniably, yet rendered with a stark, almost spectral clarity by the ancient glass. The profound quiet of the room seems to settle into the reflection itself, stripping away the usual bustling distractions, inviting a deeper, more direct gaze. The background, too, is faithfully reproduced, the other mirrors stretching into infinite regress, the high, shadowed ceiling, the subtle curve of the distant wall. Everything appears normal, serene in its ancient decay. But as you stand there, absorbing the still image, a faint, almost imperceptible anomaly begins to manifest. It is not sudden, not jarring, but a slow, subtle unfolding, like a secret whispered into the glass, along the edge of your reflection, perhaps where your shoulder meets the shadowy wall. A hairline fracture begins to appear. It isn't on the mirror itself, for when you lean closer, the glass is perfectly smooth, undisturbed. No, this crack exists only within. The reflected image, a delicate, silver-white vein spider-webbing across the ghostly space behind your form, growing with an eerie, quiet precision. You might even hear, deep within the chamber's hush, a faint, high-pitched shimmer, like the ghost of a crystal bell struck once, long ago, dissolving into the very fabric of the air. You shift, moving slightly to the side, and the fracture seems to follow, reforming itself always within the reflection, always in that liminal space between you and the mirrored room. It is a crack that defies physical presence, a flaw not of the glass, but of the image. It holds a subtle suggestion that what you perceive is not as solid or as fixed as it seems. Other reflections in other mirrors, too, begin to subtly distort. A grand, gilded mirror across the room might show your form stretched impossibly tall, an elongated shadow with limbs that seem to ripple and flow like water. Another, smaller mirror might capture only a fragment of your face, yet that fragment could be subtly off kilter. An eye slightly too large, a cheekbone too sharp, as if seeing you through the lens of a half-forgotten dream. The pervasive quiet of the chamber seems to deepen as these visual paradoxes unfold. There is no fear here, not the primal terror of the unknown, but a profound sense of awe, a quiet bewilderment. The distortions are not malicious. They are simply, they're part of the mansion's strange, beautiful reality. Your reflection, once a steadfast anchor of identity, now becomes a fluid, shifting landscape, an ethereal canvas upon which the mansion paints its quiet truths. You find yourself gazing, captivated, not wanting to turn away, drawn into the hypnotic dance of presence and absence, familiarity and alienation. This unfolding ballet of fragmented reflections is not meant to frighten, but to gently loosen the grip of rigid self-perception. In seeing yourself rendered in 100 subtly different ways, your mind begins to understand that identity itself is not a monolithic, unyielding structure, but a mosaic of experiences, perspectives, and fleeting moments. The hairline cracks across the mirrored spaces are not breaking the mirror, or even breaking you, but are rather revealing the inherent fragility and porousness of all boundaries, physical, mental, and spiritual. They invite you to look beyond the surface, to accept the beautiful imperfection, the quiet splintering of certainty that allows for new forms of understanding to emerge. The very air in the room, cool and metallic, seems to hum with this silent, visual symphony. The faint echo of the distant rain continues its steady rhythm, a soothing counterpoint to the visual chaos, grounding you even as your perceptions are playfully challenged. You might notice your breath growing steadier, deeper, as if this quiet confrontation with the fluid nature of self is actually an act of profound release. The idea that your image could be stretched, warped, or subtly fractured no longer brings alarm, but a sense of quiet liberation. What if these distortions are not flaws, but revelations? What if they are showing you the unseen complexities, the inner landscapes that are usually hidden beneath the veneer of daily life? In this room of fractured reflections, you are invited to shed the burden of a single, fixed self. The warped images are not judging you. They are simply showing you the endless possibilities of existence, the myriad ways in which you could be, or have been, or might become. The soft, internal voice of the mansion, carried on the gentle currents of the air, seems to whisper, "Look closer. See yourself not as you are told you should be, but as you truly are, a constantly shifting, ever-evolving mystery, beautiful in every one of your countless reflections, both whole and wonderfully broken." And as you gaze into the fragmented depths, a deep, unsettling peace begins to settle, a comfort found not in clarity, but in the profound, boundless acceptance of the unknown within and without. Your mind, freed from the need for a perfect, singular image, begins to expand, embracing the beautiful, strange plurality of your own being. As this profound, boundless acceptance settles within you, transforming the unease into a quiet, almost melancholic comfort, a faint, sweet scent begins to waft on the air, subtly guiding your attention away from the mirrored illusions. It is the deep, earthy fragrance of old paper and decaying leather, mingled with the crisp, clean scent of 1,000 forgotten stories waiting to be told. The cool, metallic tang of the mirror chamber slowly recedes, replaced by a warmer, drier air, thick with the quiet breath of ages. You follow this unseen current, stepping through an archway draped in shadows, and find yourself in a space of breathtaking, silent grandeur, a colossal library. It stretches before you, a labyrinth of towering bookshelves carved from dark, ancient wood, reaching so high that their upper tiers are lost in the perpetual gloom of the mansion's unseen ceiling. Dust motes, thick as velvet, hang suspended in the still air, catching the sparse, diffused light that filters through arched, stained glass windows, painting silent, fractured rainbows on the polished floor. Every surface is adorned with books, thousands upon thousands, their spines faded and cracked, their titles lost to time and dust. They stand in silent sentinels, row upon endless row, like a forest of wisdom turned to stone, waiting for a hand to awaken their slumbering tales. The sheer volume of forgotten knowledge is overwhelming, a testament to countless lives lived and thoughts pondered. Here, The omnipresent thrum of the mansion is muted, absorbed by the vast fabric of paper and wood. The distant, rhythmic patter of the eternal rain against the unseen windows becomes a hushed, contemplative murmur, a gentle counterpoint to the profound silence within these walls. You can almost feel the weight of centuries pressing down, a gentle, comforting burden of time, reminding you of the fleeting nature of your own presence, yet also of the enduring power of creation and memory. You move deeper into the aisles, drawn by an invisible force, your footsteps soft upon the thick, woven rugs that muffle all sound. As you pass between the towering stacks, the air grows heavier, imbued with an almost palpable energy. It is not cold, nor is it threatening, but it hums with a quiet intensity, as if the very atoms of the room are vibrating with untold narratives. And then, subtly at first, it begins. From the depths of the countless pages, a faint, almost imperceptible sound emerges. It is a rustle, not of a single leaf turning, but of thousands of ancient pages, brittle and yellowed, shifting ever so slightly in an unseen breeze, a collective sigh from the heart of the library. It weaves into the gentle backdrop of the rain and the mansion's low drone, becoming part of the atmosphere, a soft, papery whisper that invites you to lean in closer, to attune your senses to its subtle language. As you draw nearer to a particularly old, leather-bound volume, its spine warped with age, the rustling seems to intensify around it, and within that rustle, within the faint creak of the ancient binding, you begin to discern something else whispers, not loud, not distinct, but a low, murmuring chorus, like countless voices speaking at once, just beneath the threshold of understanding. They are indistinct, a soft, ethereal babble that swirls around you, echoing from the shadowed corners of the stacks, seeming to emanate from the very substance of the books themselves. These are not the whispers of living voices, but the echoes of thoughts, of forgotten dreams, of fears inscribed into the very fabric of existence. They are like ghosts of ideas, released from their paper prisons, drifting through the air like invisible smoke. You listen intently, and gradually, certain fragments begin to surface from the chaotic chorus. You might hear the faint, melodic cadence of your own name, uttered not with recognition, but with a question, a gentle, searching inquiry, as if the books themselves are trying to remember something about you. Your name, where is it written? Or perhaps, what do you hold? What do you hide? The whispers are not accusatory, nor are they malicious. They are merely reflecting, like the mirrors before, but this time reflecting the hidden anxieties, the unspoken concerns that lie coiled deep within the chambers of your own mind. You might hear faint murmurs of loss, or regret, or the path not taken, or the quiet solitude. Each word is barely distinguishable, a fleeting impression rather than a clear utterance, but its resonance is undeniable. They are the shadows of what you might lose, the ghosts of what you left behind, the silent questions you carry, now given a gentle, ethereal voice by the ancient library. This subtle symphony of forgotten voices is not meant to instill panic, but to invite a profound introspection. These are not fears imposed upon you from without, but rather the gentle echoes of your own internal landscape, brought to the surface by the mansion's quiet magic. The calm, steady rhythm of the rain outside continues its eternal vigil, a soothing balm against the subtle unraveling of your inner world. In this grand sanctuary of whispered anxieties, you find a peculiar kind of peace. It is the peace that comes from acknowledging these shadowy companions, from allowing them to surface and be heard, without judgment or resistance. You realize that these books, in their timeless wisdom, are not revealing your fears to torment you, but to offer a path to understanding them. By giving these intangible worries a subtle, external form, the soft, ancient whispers the mansion provides a safe, detached space for you to observe them. There is a deep, quiet comfort in recognizing that these feelings are not unique burdens, but part of the universal human condition, echoes that have resonated through countless lives, now captured in the essence of these ancient volumes. The library does not demand answers. It simply offers a space for quiet communion, for the gentle acknowledgement of the intricate tapestry of your own internal world, inviting you to embrace the whispers, to find a strange, liberating solace in their ancient hum. You are not alone with your silent fears. They are here, in the pages, patiently waiting to be acknowledged, understood, and ultimately released into the vast, calming silence. As these whispers gently recede, melting back into the timeless hum of the library, a profound stillness descends, not of emptiness, but of rich, deep contentment. The mansion itself seems to draw a soft, quiet breath, acknowledging your journey through its veiled realities. The labyrinthine halls, the fractured reflections, the spectral voices all now coalesce into a single, intricate tapestry of experience, woven into the very fabric of your being. You have walked the path of the unseen, touched the edges of the unknown, and in doing so, found a peculiar, enduring strength within. The gentle, omnipresent cadence of the rain outside now seems to swell, becoming the dominant rhythm of this moment. It is the world's oldest lullaby, a boundless, persistent melody that has cradled the earth through countless ages. Allow its liquid embrace to wash over you, cleansing the mental landscape, smoothing away the intricate patterns of thought that have danced through your mind. Let the deep, resonant drone of the ancient structure, which has accompanied you through every surreal turn, now become a steady, comforting anchor, a vibrational hum that resonates with the deepest chambers of your own quietude. For a time, my voice will recede, like a tide pulling back from the shore, leaving you to drift in the vast ocean of sound. This is your moment to simply be, to release the conscious mind from its ceaseless vigil, and to allow the subconscious to unfold, unfettered and free. There is nothing to seek, nothing to understand, nothing to fear, and nowhere to go but deeper into the quietude that awaits. Let the soft, endless cascade of the eternal rain carry you. Let the gentle, encompassing warmth of the hearth, wherever you may imagine it, envelop you. Surrender to the subtle currents of the dark ambient, allowing its soft, undulating textures to become the very breath of your relaxation. This space, suspended between worlds, between waking and sleeping, between conscious thought and boundless drift, is now entirely yours. It is a sanctuary built of sound and shadow, a vessel designed to carry you effortlessly into a state of profound, restorative calm. Here, in the heart of the mansion's eternal storm, you are safe, you are protected, you are home. Allow your mind to unravel, your senses to soften, and your spirit to float freely. Drift now, within the gentle embrace of the endless rain, into a serenity as vast and ancient as the mansion itself. Sink deeper, breathe, release, and simply, profoundly exist. The silent currents of timelessness, in which you have so comfortably drifted, now begin to guide you once more, gently, almost imperceptibly, towards a new threshold within the mansion's ancient embrace. The rain, your steady companion, continues its soft serenade upon unseen roofs and distant windows, a rhythmic assurance that the world outside remains, even as the world within unfolds in layers of profound introspection. Feel the subtle shift, a quiet invitation from the depths of your restful state to observe, not with the urgency of a waking mind, but with the soft, receptive curiosity of a dream. Imagine, now, your steps, silent as falling snow, carrying you through a passage where the air itself feels thicker, imbued with the dust of centuries and the unspoken stories of forgotten eras. The ambient hum that has cradled you through your repose now subtly weaves with a new, delicate thread, the faintest clink of distant crystal. a whisper of silver on porcelain, so fleeting it might be a memory, or merely a trick of the ear, carried on a phantom breeze. It is a sound so ephemeral, it challenges the very notion of its existence, yet it draws you forward, an almost magnetic pull towards its elusive source. And then, you arrive. Before you lies a chamber of breathtaking scale, a grand dining hall bathed in an ethereal, almost milky light that seems to filter from no discernible source, merely existing. High vaulted ceilings, intricately carved with motifs of ancient vines and watchful gargoyles, disappear into a soft gloom above, while walls adorned with faded tapestries depict hunting scenes, their vibrant hues muted by time into a somber, dreamlike palette. The air here holds the faint, ghost-like scent of extinguished candles, of rich, aged wood polish, and perhaps a lingering whisper of exotic spices from feasts long past. It's a fragrance both opulent and melancholy, a silent testament to grandeur that once was, or perhaps still is, just beyond the veil of perception. In the very heart of this vast chamber, stretching almost the entire length of the room, stands a magnificent table. It is an expanse of dark, gleaming wood, polished to a mirror-like sheen, reflecting the phantom light above in shimmering pools. Upon this silent stage, a spectacle of exquisite anticipation unfolds. The finest linen, a soft, creamy white, lies perfectly draped, its edges falling in elegant folds. Each setting is meticulously arranged heavy silver cutlery, glinting with a soft, otherworldly luminescence, delicate crystal goblets, catching the light and breaking it into 1,000 muted rainbows, and ornate porcelain plates, adorned with crests whose intricate designs whisper of a noble, forgotten lineage. Candles, tall and slender, stand in elaborate candelabra, their wicks darkened, as if their flames have only just flickered out, leaving behind a wisp of smoke too subtle to see, yet palpable in the stillness. No crumpled napkin, no spilled drop of wine, no scattered crumb disturbs this immaculate tableau. It is a scene preserved in amber, a moment paused, an event perpetually on the brink of beginning, or perhaps forever captured at its precise, immaculate end. There are no guests, no hosts, no servants, only the quiet, lingering echo of their potential presence. The chairs, heavy and carved, are drawn out from the table just so, as if someone has just risen, or is just about to be seated. You might even catch, with your inner ear, the subtle, almost imperceptible scrape of a chair being pushed back, a sound that resonates not from the room itself, but from the depths of your own vivid imagination, a phantom echo of an action that never quite occurred in this present moment. This is the banquet of the unarrived, the feast for those who have departed without tasting, or who linger eternally on the threshold of arrival. The emptiness here is not merely an absence, it is a profound presence, a palpable void that hums with the energy of what should be. You feel it, don't you? A gentle, almost imperceptible chill that brushes against your skin, even as the distant warmth of the hearth from the earlier rooms still resonates faintly within you. It is the cold breath of expectation, the quiet weight of time suspended. And as you stand amidst this magnificent, yet desolate, grandeur, a curious sensation begins to bloom within you, a subtle awareness of being watched, not with malice or threat, but with a quiet, patient observation. perhaps from the shadowed corners where the tapestries meet the ceiling, or from the dark, polished surfaces that reflect your own solitary form. It is the watchful gaze of the mansion itself, of the air that has held so many sighs and whispers, of the very objects that have witnessed centuries unfold. They seem to hold their breath, waiting for whom, you cannot say. But in this waiting, in this profound stillness, there is a curious invitation. This space, suspended outside the conventional flow of time, offers a unique liberation. Here, the pressure of immediate engagement dissipates. There is no need to join the feast, no obligation to perform, no rush to understand. You are merely an observer, allowed to witness the intricate dance of absence and presence, of memory and potentiality. In this liminal dining hall, where every detail suggests imminent life, yet only silence reigns, your mind is free to explore the beauty of what is not. The profound narrative woven into the threads of emptiness. Allow this silent banquet, this grand performance of the unfulfilled, to settle within you. Let the subtle disquiet of its perfection, its pristine, untouched readiness, transform into a state of profound acceptance. For in the heart of the mansion, even emptiness holds a richness, a peculiar comfort found in the acknowledgement of the unknown, of the things that exist just beyond our grasp, forever poised. Here, in the quietude of this eternal wait, you find a new layer of stillness, a deepening of your internal landscape, where the concept of being present takes on a beautifully paradoxical meaning. You are present in absence, witness to a feast that never ends, yet never truly begins. And in that, there is a peculiar, deep calm. The peculiar, deep calm you've embraced within the silent grandeur of the dining hall, where absence itself took on a profound presence, now gently guides you onward. Your perception, attuned to the whispers of this ancient place, catches a new, subtle current in the air of faint, almost mournful resonance, an echo of what once was, perhaps, a sigh carried on a breath of time itself. It is not a sound of threat, but of profound, tender melancholy, urging you further into the mansion's intricate heart. You drift from the grand, suspended feast into a corridor that feels distinctly different. The ceiling here is lower, the walls clad in dark, heavy wood, worn smooth by countless unseen touches. The air grows cooler, carrying the faint, metallic tang of old photographs, a scent that is almost entirely conceptual, a ghost of memory itself. The subtle drone that has been your companion throughout this journey now deepens, twisting slightly, a low, resonant hum that seems to gently distort the very fabric of the space around you, like light shimmering through ancient, wavy glass. And then you find yourself at the threshold of another chamber. This room, unlike the opulence of the dining hall, speaks of an intimate, intensely personal history, yet it presents itself with an unsettling void. It is a vast gallery, stretching beyond your immediate sight, its walls completely adorned with frames, thousands upon thousands of frames, small, delicate silver ones, large, ornate gilded ones, simple wooden rectangles, and intricate, hand-carved ovals. They cover every available surface, ascending towards a ceiling lost in shadow, cascading down to meet the dark, polished floor. But as your gaze drifts across this bewildering tapestry of frames, a profound stillness settles within you, colder than the air. For every single frame, without exception, is utterly empty. There are no faded daguerreotypes, no oil portraits of stern ancestors, no vibrant landscapes of forgotten gardens, only the raw, unyielding emptiness of glass reflecting dim light, or the dark, unyielding backing board. Each frame is a promise unfulfilled, a vessel without its precious cargo. It is a silent testament to stories untold, faces unseen, moments forever erased. The sheer scale of this emptiness is overwhelming, a dizzying panorama of absence that stretches the very limits of your comprehension. It feels as though a tide of forgetting has swept through this room, meticulously stripping every visual trace, leaving only the skeletal structures of memory behind. As you stand amidst this silent testament to erasure, a subtle unease begins to stir, not in your chest, but in the very core of your cognitive being. The gentle, almost imperceptible warp in the ambient drone seems to resonate with something deep inside your own mind. It begins subtly, an almost playful trick of memory. You try to recall a specific detail from a recent dream, or the precise shade of a favorite flower, and find the edges are softer, less defined than they should be. A name, a familiar face, hovers just beyond your grasp, like a butterfly that flits away the moment you try to focus. The more you gaze at these empty frames, the more pronounced this sensation becomes. It's as if the very atmosphere of this room, steeped in the loss of countless images, is beginning to permeate your own inner landscape, your memories, those vibrant, intricate tapestries of your life, feel less solid, not gone, not yet, but as if their colors are fading, their threads loosening. A gentle, ethereal fog seems to roll in from the distant corners of your mind, obscuring the sharpness of recollections, blurring the lines of your personal narrative. You might feel a fleeting moment of quiet panic, a whisper of dread that touches the fragile construct of self. To forget is to lose a piece of who you are, to unmoor yourself from your own history. But here, in this room of stolen memories, this fading is not violent or abrupt. It is slow, delicate, almost tender. It is the gentle erosion of a sandcastle by an endless, patient tide. The air itself seems to exhale, a deep, pervasive sigh that resonates not from any living being, but from the very walls, from the glass of the empty frames themselves. It is the sound of time stretching and bending, of reality softly unraveling. This mansion, you realize, does not merely house forgotten things. It is a living entity that subtly reshapes your understanding of what it means to remember, what it means to be. It invites you to question the very solidity of your past, to embrace the fluid, ephemeral nature of recollection. Yet, even in this profound, disorienting experience of self-dissolution, a peculiar comfort emerges. For when the specific details begin to recede, when the vividness of individual memories soften, what remains is a deeper, more fundamental sense of being. The essence of your spirit, your core consciousness, persists, untainted by the shifting sands of recollection. It is an invitation to let go, to release the grip on the tangible anchors of your past, and discover a more expansive, untethered self. This room, with its thousands of empty canvases, is a sanctuary for the unremembered, a monument to the beauty of impermanence. It shows you that even when the images fade, the story continues, held not in the frames, but in the enduring silence, in the gentle, warped drone that cradles your present moment. The fear of forgetting transforms, here, into an acceptance of fluidity, a quiet acknowledgement that the truest self transcends the collection of its experiences. Allow this profound, gentle stripping away to unfold within you. Let the distant, subtle clink of an unseen frame settle back into place, not with a jolt, but with a soft, resonant echo, signifying not loss, but the quiet inevitability of change. In the beautiful, unsettling emptiness of this gallery, your mind finds a new, deeper level of release. You are not losing yourself. You are simply shedding the layers of what you thought defined you, revealing a serene, boundless awareness beneath. The boundaries of your identity, once so rigid, now soften, dissolving gently into the comforting, warped embrace of the mansion's timeless reality. And in this exquisite liberation, a profound stillness, deeper than before, settles within your very core. The boundaries of your identity, once so rigid, now soften, dissolving gently into the comforting, warped embrace of the mansion's timeless reality. And in this exquisite liberation, a profound stillness, deeper than before, settles within your very core. From this deep, unburdened core, a new awareness blossoms. The desire to find an exit, once a gnawing compulsion, has simply faded. It is not that the thought of leaving has been forcibly removed, but rather that its urgency has withered, like a forgotten bloom. The grand, sprawling edifice around you no longer feels like a labyrinth to escape, but an expansive canvas of your own unfolding consciousness. The very air, once laden with a subtle chill, now holds a gentle, permeating warmth, as if the mansion itself has exhaled a soft, accepting breath. The pervasive, eternal rain, which once beat a relentless rhythm of isolation against the forgotten windows, now shifts its cadence. It becomes a soft, constant lullaby, a whispering presence that wraps around you like a familiar blanket. Each drop that patters against the ancient glass, each rivulet that traces its silver path down the pane, is no longer a symbol of confinement, but a cleansing flow, washing away the remnants of rigid expectations and the clamor of external demands. The low, resonant drone, your steadfast companion through these strange halls, now weaves itself seamlessly with the rain, becoming a harmonious, deep hum that vibrates not through the floorboards, but through your very being, a cosmic chord of peace. You begin to move through the mansion once more, not with a sense of aimless wandering, but with a newfound intimacy. The endless corridors, which once twisted with bewildering purpose, now seem to flow with a logic that resonates with the serpentine paths of thought in a dream. The subtle shifts in architecture, the way walls might imperceptibly curve where they were straight moments before, no longer induce disquiet. Instead, they are quiet affirmations of the fluid, ever-changing nature of existence and of the self. Each bend, each unexpected alcove is an invitation, not a trap, to explore a new facet of this internal landscape you now inhabit. The empty frames in the vast gallery, which just moments ago spoke of a profound loss, now whisper a different truth. They are not absences to be mourned, but spaces, unfilled canvases, waiting not for a past image to be restored, but for a new, unburdened presence. They reflect not what was stolen, but the boundless potential of what can be. Now that the weight of divine memory has softened, you gaze into their polished emptiness, and rather than seeing a void, you perceive an open field, a quiet, inviting expanse where your spirit can rest, free from the narratives that once tethered it. Even the whispers from the ancient library, which once called to your secret fears, now seem to have softened into a distant, comforting murmur. They are no longer accusatory or fear-inducing, but like the echoes of old dreams, half-remembered and benign. The voices, once indistinct and unsettling, now blend into the mansion's ambient song, a chorus of forgotten histories that no longer demand understanding, but simply exist. A gentle thrum in the background of your newfound peace. They are the collective unconscious, vast and deep, and you are no longer afraid to be a part of it. This acceptance is not a surrender to oblivion, but a profound liberation. It is the realization that the truest self is not defined by its grip on certainty, but by its capacity to embrace the unknown, the liminal, the beautifully strange. The warped reality of the mansion is no longer an external threat to your sanity, but a mirror reflecting the intricate, non-linear, often paradoxical nature of your own mind. By accepting its endless corridors, its shifting spaces, its gentle dissolution of rigid forms, you are, in essence, accepting the hidden, often feared corners of your own psyche. The tension, which may have subtly clung to you, even as you drifted, now releases its final, tenuous hold. It dissolves not with a snap, but like sugar melting in warm tea, slowly, completely. The subtle warp in the ambient drone, which once hinted at distortion, now feels like a gentle, cradling wave, carrying you deeper into a state of serene acceptance. This is the comfort found in the illusory, the profound peace discovered not by solving the mystery, but by becoming one with it. You are not trapped. You are integrated. The mansion is no longer a separate entity, but an extension of your being, a labyrinth of your own inner world, now harmonized. The eternal rain is not a barrier, but a constant caress. You are not losing yourself. You are, perhaps for the first time, truly finding yourself within the boundless or fluid landscape of your own spirit, held in the gentle, timeless embrace of the Lu Jai Van Veil. The world outside, with its rigid demands and clear-cut definitions, ceases to hold sway. Here, in the heart of the beautiful unknown, you find a stillness so profound, a peace so complete, that it feels like coming home to a place you never knew existed, yet always carried within. The gentle hum of the mansion, the soft patter of the endless rain, now settle into a quiet, unwavering melody of profound rest. From this core of profound, unwavering rest, your awareness begins to gently expand, yet paradoxically, it also contracts, focusing inwards with a sublime precision. The vastness of the mansion, once a source of wonder and subtle dread, now recedes, not disappearing entirely, but becoming an infinitely gentle, encompassing embrace. It is no longer a place you are in, but a state you are. Let the final traces of thought, the lingering echoes of any expectation, simply drift away. Imagine them as motes of dust, dancing momentarily in a beam of moonlight, before softly dissolving into the deep, welcoming shadows. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to be. But here, in this suspended moment, cradled by the eternal, whispering rain, the air around you, once subtly chill and filled with the mansion's ancient breath, now feels perfectly attuned to your own being. It is a soft, comforting presence, neither warm nor cold, but an exquisite neutrality that invites every muscle, every fiber of your being to release. Feel it settle gently upon your skin, a silent assurance that you are safe, held, and deeply at peace. Close your inner eyes, not as an act of will, but as a natural surrender. Allow the visual landscape of the mansion, with its grand, twisting corridors and shimmering, broken mirrors, to recede from your mind's eye. Let it become a beautiful, abstract memory, a tapestry woven from the threads of sensation and feeling, no longer demanding interpretation, but simply existing as part of your internal calm. Now, draw your awareness fully, completely, to the sound of the rain. It is no longer an external phenomenon, but an integral part of your internal world. Hear its ceaseless, soft descent, not a deluge, not a storm, but a quiet, rhythmic patter that forms the very heartbeat of this tranquil realm. Each droplet, distinct yet harmonized, traces its path down the ancient glass, each whisper against the eaves a lullaby of timeless grace. Allow yourself to be drawn into its rhythm, a slow, gentle sway that carries you deeper and deeper into relaxation. Feel the profound weightlessness that accompanies this sound. Your limbs, your torso, your head, each part of you now feels lighter, dissolving subtly into the surface beneath you. Imagine your body sinking gently, effortlessly, as if into the softest, most ethereal cloud. This descent is not a fall, but a surrender, a beautiful letting go into an embrace that holds no judgment, no expectation. The low, resonant drone that has accompanied your journey now becomes a part of the rain itself, weaving into its ceaseless song. It is a deep, warm hum that vibrates not through the ground, but through the very essence of your being. It is the sound of absolute stillness, the profound resonance of the universe at rest. This drone is an anchor, holding you gently in this moment, ensuring that you drift not into oblivion, but into a conscious, serene suspension. Imagine yourself floating, not upwards, but outwards, expanding softly into the boundless, rain-kissed atmosphere of this inner mansion. The boundaries of your physical self, once so clearly defined, blur and soften, mingling with the very air you breathe, the gentle sounds that surround you. You are becoming a part of the rain, a part of the ancient stone, a part of the timeless hum. Every breath you take is an act of release. Inhale slowly, softly, drawing in the essence of this profound peace. Exhale even more slowly, letting go of any remaining tension, any lingering thought, any fragment of the day that still clings to you. With each gentle breath, you sink deeper, closer to the core of pure, unadulterated rest. There is a sense of being utterly protected, completely enveloped. The mansion, with its Gothic grandeur and surreal twists, is now your sanctuary. Its endless corridors are avenues of serene introspection. Its quiet rooms are chambers of profound peace. The shadows, once hinting at secrets, now offer only solace and the promise of undisturbed quiet. Allow any sensations in your body to simply be. Do not cling to them. Do not push them away. Observe them with a gentle detachment, like leaves floating on a tranquil stream, eventually drifting out of sight. Your mind, too, is a quiet stream, and every thought is merely a passing ripple. Watch them come, watch them go, without attachment, without judgment. Let the current of the rain carry them away. This is a dream you are consciously entering, a reverie woven from mist and sound. It is a space where the ordinary rules of time and logic no longer apply, where the deepest parts of your being can unfurl and rest without fear. The rain is your constant companion, a soft, eternal presence. The drone is your deep, internal hum, vibrating with peace. You are drifting now, on the edge of awareness, yet fully present in this moment of supreme tranquility. The sounds around you are not simply heard, but felt, resonating deep within your soul. The gentle pitter-patter of the rain, the soft sigh of the wind through forgotten eaves, the distant, harmonious hum, all combine into a single, seamless symphony of rest. There is no need to seek answers here, no need to unravel mysteries. The purpose of this space is simply to exist in a state of profound acceptance, where the strange is comforting and the unknown is a source of boundless peace. You are not lost, you are found, within the deepest chambers of your own quiet mind, held safe by the Lujai Van Veo, Vatien Moi Vinku. Sink deeper now, into this soft, warm embrace. Allow your consciousness to expand and contract, ebbing and flowing with the gentle rhythm of the rain. Feel the profound stillness, the complete relaxation, seeping into every cell of your being. This is your space, your sanctuary, your boundless dream beneath the endless, comforting rain. Rest. And in this profound rest, in this quiet sanctuary you have found, cradled by the Lo Jai Van Veo, Va Tieng Moi Vin Ku, you begin to understand something deeper, something far more intimate than mere brick and stone. The ancient structure, with its endlessly shifting corridors and its unsettling beauty, is not merely a place you have visited in the outer world, or even in the waking dream of this guided journey. No, this mansion, with all its secrets and its surreal grandeur, is an echo, a reflection of the very landscape within you, the long, winding halls that seem to stretch into infinity, where your own footsteps became a phantom echo, softly blending with the rustle of forgotten tapestries and the distant creak of aged timber. They are the unexplored passages of your subconscious, the pathways of thought and memory that twist and turn beyond the immediate grasp of conscious awareness. The subtle architectural shifts you perceived with each step, the way reality seemed to subtly reconfigure itself around you, are but metaphors for the fluid nature of your own mind, ever changing, ever evolving, yet always deeply, uniquely yours. The faint scent of aged parchment and cool, damp stone that permeated those hallways was simply the aroma of your own inner history, unfolding in quiet solitude. Remember the room of fractured mirrors, where images warped and distorted, revealing not only what was but what could be, or what perhaps never was. The subtle, almost imperceptible sound of distant glass chimes, like a forgotten music box, accompanied those visual paradoxes. Those are the fragmented perceptions of self, the myriad roles you play, the hidden facets of your identity that sometimes feel estranged, sometimes profoundly intimate. The cracks in the glass were not flaws in the material world, but the delicate fault lines of perception, reminding you that reality, like identity, is often a mosaic, beautiful precisely because of its intricate breaks and unexpected refractions. And the comfort you found in embracing that distortion, in seeing the strange reflections as part of your own expanded truth, was a profound act of self-acceptance, a deep exhale into the fullness of who you are, beyond the singular image. And the library, with its countless volumes and its whispered names, calling to your deepest, most intimate fears. The soft, dry rustle of ancient paper, the almost imperceptible murmur of unseen voices forming your own name on the edge of hearing. They were not a place to be afraid of, but a treasury of unacknowledged anxieties, of stories untold and emotions unexpressed. Each whisper was an invitation, a soft summons to acknowledge the shadows that dwell within, not to conquer them, but to simply see them, to hear their faint cries, and in doing that, to diminish their power. For often, the simple act of acknowledging a fear, of gently bringing it into the soft light of awareness, is enough to transform it from a looming terror into a quiet, understood presence. The distant soughing of wind through a high window, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and old wood, only enhance this sense of quiet, contemplative depth. Even the spectral banquet, where absence was the most profound presence, the faint, lingering aroma of long-faded spices and beeswax, and the almost imperceptible clink of forgotten crystal, it served to illustrate the transient nature of connection, the echoes of what was, what might have been, or what is yet to come. It spoke not of ghosts, but of the lingering impressions that life leaves upon the soul. Subtle reminders that every moment, every interaction, even those that seem to vanish, contribute to the richness of your internal tapestry. And the strange comfort in that quiet, frozen moment was the acceptance of life's impermanence, finding peace in the ebb and flow of being. And those empty frames, in the room where memories seem to have been stolen, where a faint, mournful sigh seemed to drift through the air, carrying a chill that was not of temperature, but of memory itself. They were not a testament to loss, but a canvas for potential, a gentle reminder that while some past narratives may fade, the capacity for new stories, new insights, new definitions of self remains boundless. The subtle ache you felt, the blurring of your own perceived memories, was not a sign of emptiness, but of a quiet liberation from rigid definitions, an invitation to drift free from the anchors of the past, to redefine yourself in this eternal present, cradled by the soft, distant murmur of the rain. This Lujai Van Veo, with its eternal rain and its constant, deep hum, is the very soul of your inner world. It is a place where paradox thrives, where strangeness becomes a comfort, and where the most profound fears, when gently observed and held, transform into gateways to unparalleled peace. The soft, ceaseless patter of the rain, now a distant, harmonious backdrop, a continuous whisper against the ancient glass, is the rhythm of your own deepest calm, a timeless lullaby that has always been present within you, waiting to be heard. And the subtle drone, that grounding resonance, now a vibration deep within your chest, is the deep, unwavering hum of your own inner stillness, the bedrock of your being. You haven't been lost within its walls, but rather, you have journeyed inward, through layers of perception and emotion, to arrive at a deeper understanding of your own resilience, your own capacity for peace, even amidst the most unsettling landscapes. This mansion is not a prison, but a sanctuary of self-discovery, a realm where every shadow holds a subtle comfort, and every twist reveals a new facet of your internal strength. The cool, clean air, carrying the faint scent of rain-soaked earth and old wood, is a constant reminder of this profound, internal purity. This is not an ending, but an invitation to remain here, in this profound state of peace, letting the gentle rain continue to wash over your consciousness, soothing every nerve, deepening every breath. Or, if you choose, it is an invitation to return. For this unique space, this Lu Jai Van Veo Va Tieng Moi Vin Ku, resides within you. It is a constant, accessible sanctuary, always ready to welcome you back, to cradle you in its strange, comforting embrace whenever the outer world feels too loud, too demanding, or too ordinary. The journey through the liminal spaces of the mind, through the surreal corridors of your own soul, has shown you that true serenity is not the absence of shadows, but the ability to find peace within them. It has taught you that the unknown can be a source of profound comfort, and that embracing the mysterious facets of yourself can lead to the deepest, most rejuvenating forms of rest. So, let the whispers of the mansion continue to echo softly within you, not as haunting spectres, but as gentle guides. Let the rain be your eternal companion, a soft, rhythmic reminder of the deep well of peace that lies within. You are held, you are safe. And this journey of discovery, this beautiful, strange exploration of your own boundless self, has only just begun. Rest in this understanding. Rest in this profound, quiet knowing. Your internal mansion, with its endless rooms and its gentle, eternal rain, awaits your return, always open, always welcoming. Yes, this eternal sanctuary, this Lao Jai Van Veo Va Tieng Moi Vinku, is now a part of you, a safe haven forged from the very fabric of your imagination and deepest self. As the whispers of its ancient halls gently recede, and the rhythmic patter of the endless rain becomes a soft, distant lullaby, know that you carry its serene, mysterious comfort within you, always accessible, always waiting. Allow yourself to drift deeper now, cradled by this profound understanding. Let the lingering echoes of the mansion guide you into a state of exquisite calm, a tranquil space where the boundaries between dream and reality softly blur. The rain outside, a timeless symphony, will continue its gentle song, protecting your peace, nurturing your rest. May your dreams be as beautifully strange and deeply comforting as the journey you have just undertaken. May you have sweetly spooky dreams, filled with quiet revelations and profound tranquility. This unique experience is crafted to provide not just rest, but a journey into the hidden depths of your being. If you found solace within the Lao Jai Van Veo, consider becoming a part of our growing community. Subscribe to our channel for more immersive soundscapes and guided journeys, and explore our membership options for exclusive, ad-free access to extended content, bonus narratives, and unique community insights. Your support helps us continue to build these sanctuaries of sound, inviting more souls to find peace in the beautiful unknown. Now, simply surrender to the rain, to the soft hum, and to the deep peace you have cultivated. Rest deeply. We will be here whenever you are ready to return.